Hi y'all, Joe Malovich here. I'll give you a short tour of my funky house. So, it's situated on a fairly major, like, country highway almost. And the cool thing is we do have high-speed internet. So when we left, it was 120 megabit, and I think we could have gotten 240 megabit or something. Driveway's just gravel. There's no garage. And that was ultimately a really crappy thing when trying to sell it because, well, as you can see, we get snow. We're in the Lake Erie lake effect snowbelt. So you better believe we had to dig our cars out and shovel them off almost every day during the winter. Alright, there's not too much goofy out here on the front. I'll have to start off and say that anything from about this point over there is original, and anything over here is part of the addition. In the front door we have a very large living room with 15-foot ceilings, and let me tell you, that's a pain in the ass. Cobwebs, heat, changing light bulbs. Yeah, and I say heat because that's the source of heat for this room, which is the addition. The main part of the house was built in '83, and this addition was built in '95. So the fireplace there heats this whole room, but all the heat stays up there, which is just stupid. So I say to anybody thinking about a really tall room, don't do it. Especially if you're, I don't know if it's a super bad case because maybe the floor is under insulated or something, I'm not sure. But our feet were like always cold in the winter, and it sucked. Sucked the heat right out of you. And then another stupid aspect of this house, sorry, goofy aspect of this house, was up here. So there's the original part of the house, and up here was, or is, the attic, and I'll go up there and show you what it's about. From about this point up, I added this wall and drywalled it, but it's, come on camera, focus. It's splitting away, and I think that's just a seasonal movement of the rafters. So I made this foam door here to access the attic. And I just set it off to the side there because how do you make a door for an opening like this? It can't swing in because it'll hit the top. And you can't swing out because it'll hit the top. The only way that it would work is if you had, like, up here, the door was split in half, and you could hinge it down and then open it up, you know, lower so it wouldn't be hitting the ceiling. Yeah, raw wood. Yeah. Yeah, watch your head up here. It's actually like 7 foot in the middle. It's higher than I expected or remembered. And this is the long attic. Without this wall, all the heat would come up here, and it'd be super cold down there, and that fireplace would run continuously. That's that. I am fairly tall. Here's my headroom. I can go over to here and over to here, and I hit my head. So kind of useless as a finished height ceiling, but whatever. And that was counted as floor space. This house has approximately 2,500 square feet of floor space with that. And the previous guys that owned this, they were, I don't know what the heck they were thinking. Like, what? Come on. And then in here, this is the main walkway into the rest of the house. You have a floor grate. Fancy red countertops. And what's this? It doesn't match. I think they just wanted a wine rack like they saw it on Pinterest. Not that they had Pinterest in 1995. Whatever. Here's this little goofy section. There's no outlets anywhere over here. I had a freezer there. I had to get an extension cord behind the fridge. And then there's this little goofy bed back here. And then, I wonder if I can put my camera up here and you can see. Yeah. There's nothing back there. Right? Yeah. It's just more nothing behind there. Understairs, you know, that's normal. I do really like the wall oven. And that suck it Bosch, I hate you. You're stupid. Alright. This is what we call purple bedroom. Guess why? The previous people, they didn't really finish things nicely. And all the trim was around backwards. Like, come on. Like, this bit was over here. And you can't just flip it around because the miters makes it too short. So I had to basically cut all new trim for around the windows because they were put on backwards. And they didn't have a proper windowsill, and it looked all crappy. So I had to fix all that. Here's what we call the spare bath. Look at this fancy sink, toilet. Yeah, love that color, don't you? Not a whole lot wrong in here, other than you turn on the light and you come in close to, you know, look at something in your face, and this blocks the light, so you can't get real close to see your face. Goofy. Okay, here's another goofy corner. I don't know what was here. For a while we just had cat food, dog food there. Down the basement, here's our water heater. You can see it's like that. It's actually been like that since we bought the house in 2014, and it's worked. So yeah, I didn't do anything with it. It's worked perfect the whole time we've been here. So I just left it. I had to put in a new water softener that was there. The water table is pretty high here, so we get some leaks in the basement. And water was leaking in here. I cut this channel with a diamond angle grinder so that the water leaks in from our water line there from the well pump outside, that it would go into the well pit. Because the goofy thing in this basement, and I have another video on this, the well pit is at the highest point in the basement. The basement does not drain to the well pit. So like over here, here's some water that leaks in through a crack in the foundation. You can see about where the water table is actually in here. No, it doesn't drain over there. Same for, oh, here's my old workshop, by the way. I'm leaving these two workbenches because I don't have a place for them. You know, here's another crack showing the water table. Another crack in the floor, water comes up through the floor. I replaced both of these windows since we moved in here, and I'm glad I did that because it used to be that just cold air would flow right in through them. And to deal with all the water, we just run a dehumidifier, and that generally keeps up with it, so you don't see they get too big. Except that one, it's kind of big right now. Oh. There was history in this house of the furnace and the wood furnace being underwater. Now you can see the rust down there. And I think that was for a long period of time. And so they raised up the furnace. Oh, another reason why we got the house really cheap is because it had, let me back up a little bit. So you can see it's kind of a long, big basement. It's about 42 feet or something. And this beam was supported by 3 posts. And you see that water? I mean, not water, but the rust. The posts were rusted out. Like here's one of the old ones, one of the 3. So I replaced those 3 posts with 6 brand new posts. And jacked up the center of the house probably 2 or 3 inches. And that's part of the reason why we got the house so cheap. When we first got the house, the duct was flush with the floor joists. So it had sagged that much on rusted out posts. So we jacked it up. Like the house had been on the market for a year. We bought it for $99,500, and it was really originally listed for like $144,000. All right, well, goofy thing in the kitchen here. That's drywall on top of drywall. And that's actually a thing that they did in a lot of the house. Because it was sagging so much, they added more drywall to compensate for the sagging and the cracks and all that crap. Like, why? This doorway into our bedroom, after I fixed the house, it was off by an inch. It was an inch crooked at the top, an inch out of level. All right, this is what we call the blue room. It was blue, but we painted it this lighter blue-gray. Nothing wrong in here. This is our master bedroom. Not a whole lot wrong in here. You can walk straight into the master bath. Not a whole lot wrong in here either. Except, you know, you can do your business and your significant other's laying in the bed right there. Because there's no doorway. The front hallway, which this was like really crappy when we first moved in. Like they had like partially mudded the walls. So I finished mudding everything, trimmed it, and I had to trim it because if you look at it, it's really wavy and crooked. And like down there, really wavy and crooked. Same thing. And then also, the washer and dryer were here. I left the dryer here, but the washer had drained through the floor right here and went out underneath this front porch, which is now just a front hallway that leads to a door. And it led to the pond. You know, the pond that feeds all those water wheel videos. And it's under the porch, which is, it would be uncovered. For the sale of this house, the buyer's bank requested a set of stairs off of this door. For the longest time in this house, there was no stairs. It's just, you know, a ledge. So I added the stairs. My dad and mom helped me do that about 2 weeks ago. A lot of the lights are like this. Ooh, you can see way up in there. Another example in our bedroom. That's how we got it. Come on, focus. There you go. And then we didn't paint the ceiling in here. Yeah, look at that. Fantastic painting job. That one's the worst. Yeah, whatever. Let me go out on the porch here. It's a really nice back porch and backyard and backyard, which is what's over the bridge. Here's the back of the house. Nothing really wrong with it. It's just kind of goofy that they added the roof on top of the roof. And then also, I'm not sure what they were thinking, but you can see the difference there. It's not really weatherized. And they never, I don't know, the flashing on the fascia on it was, or drip edge was not installed correctly. And it was already like that when we got it, and I didn't really care to fix it. The day after we sold our house, ice ripped the gutter off. And that sucked. But we got insurance to cover it. So it wasn't too much out of our pockets. Walking through the backyard. That corner there is where the sump pit is. Right there. And it leads to a grinder pump, which is there, which runs under the field to the sewage treatment plant in this area for this little town. Originally, the sewer came out and there was a septic tank somewhere in here, and it pumped to a leach field, which was out here. And most of this area in the center of the screen was brush and undergrowth and two massive willow trees, and there was another tree. I'll see if I can find some pictures and post them. And other stuff. This apple tree, deer absolutely love this apple tree. I'm surprised I don't see any deer tracks here today. And here's the creek that the water wheel was in. So this is how I'm leaving it for the next owners. I don't know what they want to do with it, but when I sold it, there was no water wheel, and then I did the water wheel videos, and then I took it out. But this is how it is. It works. I'm crossing over the bridge that I built. And here you can see water that's kind of ponding because the water in the pond is a little bit high and it leaks through the dam, which snakes around back there, and the leak's somewhere over there. And then here's a burn pile that I never was able to get burning. Just didn't have enough density. For the longest time to mow back here, I had to drive through the neighbor's yard, which is from about there on. And a lot of this was overgrown too. Maybe I'll find some satellite pictures of it. I don't think I have any pictures of me doing anything back here. Oh. Here's some deer tracks. So many deer. That's like 1.7 acres or something. That's a pretty nice size. I'll kind of miss it. But the money we're getting from the sale is going to be, it'll be nice. It'll be helpful. Well, it was fun. I'll see you around.